Hello there! Welcome back to Max Quester Plays Strange Antiquities. We are back, and it is now day 6 into our strange occurrences. We've gotten quite a few new items here after our last batch, as well as a new little book here, learning about the gemstones. Yeah, we've had quite a few new people as well come along here. We have just a few more slots to go to find everybody who's going to be the main recurring cast. And we seem to have ourselves the interior of a castle we can start searching. And for whatever reason, north seems to be pointing this way, so we'll have to keep that in mind. Because they mentioned not going to the southern tower, which means this tower, I suppose? Hard to say exactly, but there was a tower. There was 2 rooms they didn't want us to go to: the master room and the southern tower. I'm sure we'll break that rule eventually, but for now, following what's clearly got to be meant for the castle rules, up the stairs, left, then left again. Second on the right is where I spend each night. Well, it wants us to clearly go upstairs, but I don't know if it's going to be these stairs, but I guess we'll find out. So we go up the stairs. There's a left, second on the right. That goes into a hallway, so I don't think it's that one. If we go up these stairs, which should come out here, that's left, and I'm not sure where it stops. Is there any other stairs? Vaults? Up the stairs, left, then left again. Up the stairs, left, then left again. Oh, okay, yeah, wait, never mind. So, left, then left again. Second on the right. So if I'm going this way, the right's on this side, and it's this door. Nice, got it. The bedroom looks like it hasn't been used for some time. A thin layer of dust coats the furnishings, and cobwebs decorate every corner. Pulling back the thin curtains lets some light in, but more importantly, they reveal a macabre item that has been hiding on the windowsill all this time. Ooh, that does not look pretty. Go with the other fingers, I guess. And there we go. We found another item. Let's go ahead and take this already solved item, put it in our list of already solves. Make that slightly easier. And invite our next person. Helena Appleton. I can never get any peace in my house. When am I to find time to do my writing? I've tried beeswax, but that makes my ears sore, and besides I can still hear the shouting and banging at all hours. I heard you might be able to help me. St. John's Anvil. Okay, let's see what old Johnny's Anvil. Ooh, it's a plant. These items have much in common with the St. John's poppy plant of the same name, a fact that is reflected in their design. They have quite different uses, however. Whereas the plant helps overcome deafness, an anvil will dampen sound. They can even be turned to filter out certain noises, but allows others to be heard still. So they have a similar design. So that means a plant design. How about this? It says a plant design. Gold. It's made of gold! And there's an amber stone, looks like. Whoops. Sounds are muffled in its presence. Oh, nice. I also saw another item, though. What about this thing? I was thinking it would be this item at first. Gold and silver band. Interesting. So it must be this guy, then. There you go. The leaves in the design are similar to the leaf sketch of a plant. Closer inspection reveals it does indeed muffle sounds. A gray's grace. Alright, next. Barton Potter, a new character, and he's got a missing eye. You must be the thaumaturge's apprentice. I bet he's a hard man to work under. He's helped me out more than once in the past, though. And speaking of the past, my eye has been aching again lately. That can't be a good sign. I'd be willing to make a fair trade for an Elva stone if you have one. Okay, we've been having... So in the previous game, our dreams usually were referring to a person that things were happening to or with. This fella is missing an eye, it looks like. Or has one and doesn't want to keep it hidden for one reason. And in our little dream, something really happened to a person's eye. It got really messed up. So, I'm beginning to wonder, perhaps this man might be the target of our visions. It's my first thought anyways. What's an Elva stone? Let's keep an eye on this fella. Elva stone. Elva stones can be used to relieve the discomfort caused by otherwise incurable ailments such as Braxis or burning blood. The planetary metal used in these items is associated with the Selenic discipline, a connection that is also reflected in the design. Elva stone. So, moon designs, planetary metals. Let's take a look at this guy. Ooh, that's interesting. The Relic Hunter. Okay, that's starting to sound even more suspicious. Intelligent, affable, heroic. These are the words that Barton Potter would use to describe himself. Irresponsible, impulsive, and foolhardy are some of the more tasteful terms that those who have dealt with him might use. One thing is not in dispute. He knows how to track down objects, and he certainly knows their worth. He's also no coward, and he bears the scars to prove it. He's one of the few who have ventured into the depths of the catacombs and lived to tell the tale. And tell the tale he does at the slightest provocation. Don't go too far in the catacombs. Those are usually some cursed places, especially in a land where magic is real. Elvastone. I'm thinking this guy here, or lady, because look at all those moons. But let's see. What is a planetary material? Materials. Planetary metals. Copper, gold, iron, lead, quicksilver, silver, and tin. How in the world do you make anything out of mercury? I'll never know. Okay, so... I guess this is the one I wanted to take a look at first. Bronze. I don't think bronze was in that list, was it? No, because that's an alloy. Copper, maybe. No. And, yeah, it says planetary metal. What's about this one? That's gold. That's stone. Nothing for a mark. Warm, hot, and cool. Maybe this one, since it's got a gold planetary stone. Is there anything about size or anything? Used to relieve the discomfort of otherwise incurable ailments. Braxis. What is Braxis? It's something there. Or burning blood. Doesn't say. I guess we can try this one. I'm not really seeing anything. Well, wait a minute with this one. Cool and smooth. Silver and stone. Okay. Well, there's tons of moons on this one. So the two that I'm thinking of is either one of these two. Thinking more of this one because there's lots of moons here. I'm gonna go with this one here, because I think they'd be mentioning more about this symbol, which seems very more planty. Yay, that's it. Design features crescent moons, a reflection of the Selenic. The metal is silver, associated with the moon. Oh, that's even better. Didn't know it was a moon associated specifically. Item discovered. This thing looks like a bit of like an axe or something, a little bit there. Warm. Cool. Warm. anything to remark. Like, this kind of looks like it should be a sharp edge, but maybe it's not. Maybe I'm being crazy. Hey, Verona, how's it going? I've been doing some reading. See what you make of this. Take a look at this. Umbra. These items cause mental fog, a withering of intellect and thought. They are slow to work, requiring several hours to have any effect. Through prolonged use, they can cause the whites of the eyes to turn black and the subject become deeply disoriented. They produce a noctic field. Okay, I think we got something here. That fisherman they found yesterday had been up at Wyatt Beck, so I'm going to see if I can find anything out there. Be careful, Verona. Whoop. Here I go again, sticking my nose in the trouble, but because I don't seem to be able to listen, go listen to that part of me that says, go put the kettle on and let someone else deal with it for a change. Well, considering all you've dealt with, that might be a smart idea. It's bloody-minded arrogance to follow that through. It's bloody-minded arrogance to follow that thought up with, but there isn't anyone else. But here we are, and here I am. They do it all wrong anyway. I guess that's one way of thinking about it. Francis Mason. I have been wearing a pendant that I found in the library, and it does something to me. It gives me an appetite for reading that I cannot control. I was lost in the library for 3 days without eating or sleeping before I managed to take the pendant off and escape. It is rather pretty, though. Someone told me I need a Cussack purifier, and that this is the place to get one. A Cussack or Sussex purifier. Interesting, okay. A small topaz gemstone, known as the Eye, is placed in a strong-smelling liquid, usually some potent barley spirit or vinegar. Small tokens, such as rings or amulets perhaps, submerged in the liquid and left for a full cycle of the moon, or are cleansed of simple imbued curses or hexes. Of course, there's a limit to the effectiveness of this process. So we're looking for like a liquid? Or something that you can submerge things to. Well, this is a bottle of something here. Pork. Yellowed paper. What's that sign mean? Huh. Vinegar. Just straight up vinegar. I don't think there's anything else that could possibly explain that. The label bears a symbol for vinegar. A closer inspection reveals that there is a small object rattling inside. Ooh. A valent. Hey, hello, hey, it's Simone Green. That's one of my favorite characters. I've been working on something that you might find interesting. Did you know that nobody knows who built Strange Antiquities? It's very old, perhaps the oldest building in Undermere, according to some accounts. Even Eli doesn't know all its secrets. I've been decoding a journal that he found. It's slow work, but I've made a bit of a breakthrough recently. Have you discovered the plinths below the counter? I mean, these guys? I've learned that they can be used to access the shop's hidden depths. And this journal holds some of the keys. Here's something I discovered late last night. See what you make of it. Ooh. Ooh, I see a protection seal on it already. Alcove key, horn shackle, epicant, and then a moon something. The writing is dense and spidery, so it's not always easy to decipher. Well, I think we have horn shackle, is that right? Horn shackle. Got evocant. And then a moon something. Moonstone Guardian? It's the only one that starts with moon. For the banishment of Hobb's fear and Noctic sight, these tend to take the form of a comforting guardian. A comforting guardian. Well, we can just try a few things. Doesn't look like that we can... Well, it says Moonstone Guardian, and there's just covered in moons. Nope. Comforting figure. Hmm. Orange shackle. Then an evocant. Then a moon something. Hmm. Well, we have the horn shackle and the evocant. Oh, I just noticed something. This is nice and bright. It is letting off. It's like that bottle of light from what's it called? Lord of the Rings. Oh my goodness, lost my mind. Also, we forgot to check out this. Oh, one more person we're missing. Simone Green, the librarian. Someone finished reorganizing the Ambleside Library and came to Undermere in search of a new challenge. She took up swimming in the lake after hearing about the health benefits of cold water, but soon found that she preferred the health benefits of a warm blanket, a roaring fire, and a good book. She manages the collections at the Wordsworth Library, following in her mother's footsteps by taking a special interest in occult writing. Ooh, nice. Wait. Simone... Wait a minute. What's... Simone Green? Oh! I never caught that those two last names were Green. I completely flew over my head. I didn't know they were related. That kind of explains a little bit then, I think. This thing has a moon on it. What in the world? Maybe I don't have a moon guardian yet. Surely I do. Guess we'll introduce the next person while we're figuring that out. Jim Wolfe. After years of working in a thundering mill, I'm afraid I'm quite deaf now. I've tried St. John's Poppy, but I'm looking for a more permanent solution. I would love to be able to hear my niece's laughter. Hearing charm. I think I might already know which one it might be, but let's take a look. A simple trinket that amplifies sounds. While generally used by the hard of hearing, they are a curiosity that can be enjoyed by young and old alike. And of course, they have more devious applications too, making it possible to eavesdrop on private conversations. Well, this one, every sound has become louder and clearer. Surely it must be that. Darn it, I keep forgetting to hold it off a little bit. Sorry. Moonstone Guardian. Is there anything that I have over here that I might have... Oh, end of day. No. Want to make sure there's anything I missed, but surely there's... Are you sure that's not it? That surely is it. Maybe it's not that. Maybe I'm crazy. Selenic Totem. Moon Hearts. Let's try the Selenic Totem. There we go. I was thinking too literal. Whoa. Okay, hello. Now we're talking. Ooh, it's like a big version of the binding seed there with a big jade-like stone. We got some of these items. They are clearly meant to be added down here. Close that up. Those are clearly meant to be used down here, just like the other one is. And I'd wager they go in these repeating spots. So that means there's one more hidden away somewhere. Nice. Nice job. And then these cups of some kind? Weird. Very interesting. Oh, wait. Did I find everything I need from there? I'm not sure. Let me check again. I want to make sure I found everything. What was the thing evocant? Try that again. Just want to make sure there's nothing hidden away in here. Ooh, candle. Nice. Huh. That's nifty. Wonder what that's going to be used for eventually. Surely something. But yep, that seems about it for that place. Alrighty then. Next day. Good job. At camp that night, one of the pair had awoken with pain in his left eye. He was alert to the threat at once, recognizing two things at the same time. One, a part of his mind was not his own, and two, the casket wanted to be open. Sounds like Dio from JoJo's. Don't open the casket! Ooh, hello, what have we here? Pointing lady. The maiden in the tower points the way. I am buried among the trees. Interesting clue. Day 7! Well, let's take a look. When it mentions tower, I keep thinking about here. There's no real clue, because there's lots of towers, so I'm not sure what tower it's talking about. So it must be talking of, and it's talking specifically about woods, so the answer must be out here somewhere, buried among the trees. Let's see. Maiden in the tower. Any towers in here? Galfrey's Tower, number 22. Oh, hello. Now then. Anything that's pointing... That thing's pointing to something. Is that the maiden? Let's click on this. Oh, hello. I climb the narrow, winding stair to the top of the tower and am rewarded with views across Lake Undermere. I am not alone in the tower. Standing in the center of the circular platform is a statue of a young woman. Hello. The maiden. Her outstretched arm points due east across the rooftops of Undermere and beyond. Okay, so due east of this tower. And then I am buried among the trees. So straight east. Mossy wood. Hey, got it. I find what I'm looking for in a small cavity carved into a sturdy oak tree. I look around, half expecting to see someone, but there is nobody there. I take my prize and leave, feeling my mood lifted by the smell of damp moss and the gentle rush of wind through the treetops. Yay, item! How many weird-looking items, eh? I wonder who comes up with these things. Obviously the developers, hey, it's green. Hello, Verona. I walked up the beck a mile or so in the cold and wet yesterday, and found a section with a handful of dead fish floating in it, belly up, and blackened they were. I'm not sure what to make of it, but I don't like it. I'm on my way to Calgarth Hall now. I spoke to Dr. Robertson earlier, and she said the 2 women they found there are still in the same state as the others, in a trance and eyes all black. Oh man, is that more victims? Before I go, Anna Bryant asked me to drop this off. There's a lot of victims of this black-eyed curse. When we were kids, we used to explore an abandoned house on the lakefront. We'd take a boat out on the northern tip of Naylor Island and row across from there. You know the one I'm talking about. Second from the left in the row of 4. I found myself outside its door 3 days ago, and I went inside for old time's sake. I wish I hadn't. It always had an ominous feel to it. It has taken me the last 3 days to summon the courage to write this letter, but I think it's better you see for yourself what's out there. It sounds like we got ourselves another exploration to do. What you got for me? Okay. When we were kids, we used to explore an abandoned house on the lakefront. So, Lake Undermere, so it's going to be something along here. We'd take a boat out to the northern tip of Naylor Island. Northern tip, and row across from there. You know what I'm talking about. Second from the left in the row of 4. Well, if it's going straight north... Oh, well, it gives me 2 options, so it's 50-50. That's very generous. I don't know exactly what I was expecting to find. Anna's letter was quite vague, after all, but I certainly wasn't prepared for this. In an alcove of the house, peering out through loose mortar and crumbling brick, is a macabre shrine of sorts. The skull of a stag is mounted above the opening, its antlers smeared with a dark red substance. I don't know if that's blood or not, if it's lasting that long. And large melted candles pool out on the wooden floor on either side. In the center of the altar, there is a small iron chest, rusted and fused to the floor. Used to the floor? Oh, that's different. It's clear that it has been here for a long time. I do not see any hinge or keyhole or any way of opening it at all. But after a while, I notice an inscription that says simply, I open to the voice. The airhead opens to the voice. It's clearly a voice of voice of the deer god. The chest opens to reveal a golden totem. I can't imagine who would have stashed it here or why, but it doesn't look like they're coming back for it anytime soon. Ooh, shiny. Yes, Catwoman would love that. Better make sure she doesn't find out that's here. Lester Crowley. Ooh, a Crowley. I apologize if this inquisition is an imposition to your disposition. Oh, no. It is not my intention to bring to your attention a matter of contention. I love and hate how the way he speaks. I have an inclination to pour an incantation of flirtation. For your part, a leaden heart of the thematic art. A lead heart. I both love and hate the way this man speaks. Ooh, right on it. These items depict the god of Chronos in his non-human form. They are heavier than they look due to a core of lead hidden by a more modest exterior. They are said to kindle romantic interest and are sometimes given as wedding gifts. Well, Chronos... Nope, that's not it. Is this fella, Mr. Antlerman. So we're looking for something deery. Which screams this thing. This thing is made of clay. Interior mark. Pointy! Textured. That looks pretty darn heavy. And it's heavier than 2 pounds. And yet it doesn't look like it should be. And it's made of clay. Which means it's gotta have something heavier inside. Nice. Using the index, I can remind myself that Chronos has antlers, suggesting his non-human form could be a deer. Using my weighing scales, I can confirm that the item is heavier than it looks. Nice. Corvin's Might. Interesting. Angus Eaton. Oh, you're not Eli. I'm returning an item he asked me to repair. The mechanism was mangled, but I've replaced all the springs and given it a clean. Good as new. What is that? Huh. You know, mark my mind, but that symbol... Wait, what? Hello? You can make... Mentioned you could brew something with it. Anything else remarkable about it? Not much, but, so let's see. Left and right. Down and here, I believe. Give it a shot. Hey-ya! Burning Blood. Find the book. Got any achievement there. On Curses. On Curses and Their Effects. A brief overview by Dr. F. Robertson. The sensation of burning from the inside out. It is rarely survived, and those that do never fully recover. Brax is characterized as a necrosis of the flesh. The afflicted will feel no pain, but the scarring has no cure. Oh my gosh. Sapphire curse, marked by a telltale blue tint to the eyes. Those under this curse are plagued by waking hallucinations. Morgensen, a poison of the mind. Noctic sight. Those suffering from this curse speak of increasingly vivid nightmares. Affects the mouth and tongue so that speech becomes irresponsible. That is some interesting things. It doesn't tell me how to cure them. But I guess now that I know how to identify these curses, when I look in this book, it'll tell me how. But what's this sucker? Holy cow, look at that. It turned into a flat texture. Look, that is totally a flat texture. But I guess I can't pull that out, so I guess that's only for that. Oh well. I should be looking... It looks like a reverse. It looks like a baby rattle. Hard, thin, delicate. It sounds hollow and tapped. It's an ancient baby rattle. Eli White, hey, you just missed me. Looking for you. It wasn't my intention to leave you unattended for this long, but I'm afraid I'm going to need to rely on you for a little longer. The Order of the Black Veil seemed more concerned by the ravens than the black-eyed state of that Mr. Hungerford was found in. They said it would take a very powerful force indeed to upset them like that. Unfortunately, they either weren't able or weren't willing to talk on any further on the subject. I was hoping to avoid it, but I must go to Oxford and the Bodleian Library. I will be gone for a few days at least, perhaps longer, but you seem to be handling yourself well here. I do not see eye to eye with the head of collections at Bodleian, but I do know that he takes an interest in horticulture. I will take him a Scythian charm to smooth things over between us. A Scythian charm. Scythian charm. Older Scythian charms are carved out of wood, but the more powerful designs make use of the planetary metals. No two are identical. They are used by horticulturists to encourage stubborn plants to thrive. They change with the weather, usually quite cold, but warm and tingly to the touch while it's raining. Okay, so these planetary metals, no two are identical. Older Scythian are carved out of wood, but the more powerful designs make use of the planetary metals. They change with the weather. So we're either something made completely of wood, and we're looking for something that's... Well, it's raining outside, so it should be warm and tingly. Oh, that's warm. But specifically warm and tingly? Oh, warm and vibrating with energy. This must be it. That's interesting, though. I'm sure why it looks like that. The item is made of gold and silver, planetary metals. Yeah, I remember taking a look at this before. The leaves hint at the horticultural use of the item. Oh, that makes sense there. Now, I was wondering why the leaves. Closer inspection reveals the item vibrates in the wet weather. The diverging hook. I remember that being mentioned in one of the dreams. That is going to be an important item, I can already tell. Francesca Robertson. I wonder... Ooh, wait a minute. I'm at a loss with these patients. Wait a minute. Dr. F. Robertson? Hey, did you write this? I'm at a loss with these patients. They aren't responding to anything I've tried so far and haven't been able to find anything in the literature that fits their symptoms. I am finding that they become violent if they aren't restrained, and they are always trying to leave. If nothing else, Dranthium tea... Dranthium? I remember that. From a restful mether might get a moment of lucidity out of them, but if you've got any ideas, then I'm all ears. A restful mether and witch's finger. Gee, I wonder what the witch's finger could possibly be. Witch's fingers are said to be the severed digits of the witch of Undermere. They are capable of inflicting intense pain, but the goal is supposedly purification of the body. A most unpleasant experience, but a last resort that has cured some and finished off others. High Greenford, home of the witch. Wait a minute. Decide. Wait. Withered flesh. Grim. Are they real sever fingers? Surely not. Hard and worryingly sharp. Leathery. Leathery and bony. Cool. Polished. I was expecting it to smell worse than it does. I have nothing to remark. It makes me feel uneasy. I don't like it. They're capable of inflicting intense pain. Okay, well let's see what the restful mither is, because I'm not sure which one of the two Is a witch's finger. A mether is a thaumaturge's link to the inner mind. A hot tea made from the Dranthium plant is drunk from them, taking on different properties depending on the type of mether. This particular type can be used to enter a meditative state and bypass the rush and clutter of consciousness, promoting clarity of thought. Okay, so that must be what these are, methers. Those... A dark purple gemstone. Take a look at dark purple, stone of containment. Is there a dark purple one? Dark purple. A calming stone of peace and safety. Okay, we can either try, I'm assuming is the restful mether. Or we can try the witch's finger, which seems to be, like this is the calming one, whereas the witch's finger, the prodigious of the Witch of Undermere, inflicting intense pain, but the goal is supposedly purification of the body. A last resort that has cured some and finished off others. Eee, yeah, Shush, that's a rough one. I think. Well, I'm trying to leave. We can either get what's supposed to be a calming tea, which we would have to get him to drink, or you'd have to do something with the witch's fingers. I'm not entirely certain. How am I looking at that? I am not too certain here. Since I'm not too certain, let's go with the peaceful item, because well, wait a minute. If it's giving us an alternative, I think we should go with an alternative. I'm thinking this is the witch's finger. Oh, it's not. Well, in that case, it must be this. No? Neither of them are? Okay, let's look at this deeper. The witch. Is there a thing about the witch in here at all? Wait a minute. High Green Church, home of the witch. Isn't High Green Church... Is High Green Church a place we can visit? Because this sounds like one of those context clue things we need. The church is old and the roof is in need of repairs. Moss and lichen add splashes of color to the otherwise gray exterior. A wander round to the back of the church where an old yew tree stands. Its gnarled branches scratch gently against the faded gravestones in the breeze. The pastor strays into my moment of quiet reflection and imparts some local lore. The tree is known as the Witch of High Green Church, and there are those that believe it to have unnatural powers. While the tree lives, the witch's fingers cut from its limbs are alleged to have provided healing through pain. Old yew tree. Rough and gnarled. What are you the witch's finger? Surely not. Okay, but I guess it is. On visiting High Green Church, I was able to learn that the witch refers to a yew tree, and this item is made of yew. It also features a symbol of witchcraft. I guess it does. Bones Guard. Small item known as a bones guard. Neato. Neato finito. Rebecca Rose. I've come to thank you for sharing the wonder of the Ares remnant with me. Hey, I remember you were given the pendant. It has changed my life. I'm still getting the grips with it, but already I'm feeling my way back to painting again. Thank you. Aw, that's sweet. I'm happy that it worked out. Hey, end of day! And this episode has gone quite a bit longer than I expected. My goodness. But that's day 7 brought to a close. You can go ahead and end that day and be ready for the getting into the next episode. Ooh, hello. He knew what he had to do. Without hesitating, he took hold of his diverging hook and used it to cut away the infected part of his mind before it could spread and consume him entirely. Oh my. It's like a chess piece, aka a tower, a rook. I am closest to sunset, but furthest from sunrise. So east and wests? Like perfectly east and west or something like that? I'm not sure. But anyways, this episode has gone a little bit longer, it looks like, from what I'm seeing. I want to thank you very much for joining me here through this episode of Strange Antiquity. This has been Max Quester. Leave a like if you enjoyed, leave a comment if you didn't, and please leave a subscribe so you can follow for more. I'll see you later. Bye-bye.